Let me start this off sickly. Put gaffer tape on your lips and rip it off quickly. Dab them with vinegar, make sure it's applied thickly. Strap your eyes open and make you just watch strictly. They say there's many fish in the sea and the lake's rippling. Born with a chip on my shoulder, the weight's crippling. Left to right cannibal, looking the next victim. Test flight manual, stuck in the next system. You'll never get the point of the story if you don't listen. What's wrong, you don't talk lately, you're so distant. MCs don't like me, I'm frightening and consistent. If anybody's asking, just tell them I've gone fishing. It isn't worth nothing if it's something that's worth risking. I see through the smiles and the camouflage shape shifting. Whatever way you wanna look at it was so different. Now feel your hair standing on end and your face twisting.
Well, fuck a doodle do if it ain't 10 o'clock in the goddamn morning. They call me the Cockney Rooster, and I'm here for some whooping and hollering. No one has called me that ever. All right. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's the 11th of October. It's a Thursday, so you know we mean business. And we're here to get straight into the hard stuff. Got a couple of bottles of Jungle Fire hot sauce sent to me by my main man, John B, who will be on later in the show. Oh, I got a big old sack of bangers, and I've got a right load of old stress and grief from online newspapers. Where else would you be but on coffee and memes?
Steady job and a couple extra potatoes, that's all I want.
You're getting on, you're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
Oh, I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee and Memes, the one and only greatest breakfast show in the whole world, all across the flat earth, all the way to the fictional land of Australia. Threshold.fm, live on the YouTubes. The chat's filling up, they're all in there. Deb Bass, Tony Jenkins, Kia Toki, Anthony Ford, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Oliver Hooper, Flux Radio, aka Ben Cooper. Whoo, shit. Decent people, decent, honest, God-fearing folk. They just want to get their shit together. They want to tidy their room, bucko, and sort their damn act out. Got to shout out the VIP list. Everyone on Patreon supporting the show, supporting the station, making these dreams come alive. Realising this insane mess that I'm calling a radio station. God bless you all. Nicholas Goncalves, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Oliver Hooper, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Tony Hark, Pauly Hutton. Congratulations, Pauly Hutton. He's just had a kid. I will say that Will is not a bad shout as a name. Just putting that out there. Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Matthew Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Colm Murphy, Sam Howard, and Tony J. Bunch of bad motherfuckers, if ever I saw a list of bad motherfuckers. Ooh. So yes, indeed, we have John B coming up a little bit later. He's going to be on the blower and going to be talking all sorts of things. I've got all manner of stupid questions to ask him. I just want to find out about his laugh. Also, he sent me some of this Jungle Fire hot sauce, which is meant to be pretty pokey. So I'm pretty keen to get into that. I've got a blade. And I haven't tested them first. I like a hot sauce. I'm not hard when it comes to hot sauce. I'm not gonna, dish out fake bravado and go, oh, I can take any bit, you know what sauce, taking all 1,000,000 Scovilles with the fucking Argus and that, mate. No, I'll take a medium strength hot sauce. I had the hot one at Nando's, but the Nando's hot one, it's not really hot, is it? Come on, it's for children, isn't it? It's a posh chicken cottage. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyway, there's a lot of nonsense going on in the world. A lot of absolute madness. Let's get straight into it, and then we'll play a record. Mum Dance can stop texting me. Sod off. Swarms of STD-infected ladybirds are invading Britain's homes. Experts warn. Now, I'm not one for an expert, but let's get into it. If you spotted swarms of spotty little beasts crawling around in your house, be warned. They could well be infested with STDs. They could be jump-up DJs. The bugs, harlequin ladybirds, they sound like trouble, have black wings rather than red ones and carry the La Boule Benelial's fungal disease transmitted by steamy ladybird on ladybird sex. That's what it says in the Metro. I mean, yeah, ladybird on ladybird sex, that's sex generally in nature is between two of the same species. I mean, it can happen, you know, interspecies love. Consensual interspecies love. Maybe such a thing is possible. Who knows? It's 2018. They're now looking for a place to bed down for the winter. But don't panic. The fungus-infested creatures don't want to bed down with you. Good. Just in your house. The sex-diseased beasts, they're really going like full tabloid on this, carry a fungal parasite which is often transmitted during hot insect romps. Okay. The pest experts recommend sealing windows to make sure they don't get in your home. So, I mean, what are we on, like a sort of amber alert here? Got these slag, bloody ladybirds. I mean, I guess the lady in the term is a sort of bluff. Like, or maybe they're a sort of lady in the street freak in the bed sort of situation. I don't know. I mean, ladybirds are notorious sluts, and they don't use protection. They're just out there slinging dick, basically, and not really thinking about the consequences. It's not on, and now they're obviously suffering. Now they are suffering the consequences. They're all riddled, absolutely riddled with fungal STDs. I mean, is there a comparison between them and jump-up DJs? I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions over an entire subgenre of drum and bass. No, all right, I will. Yes, a direct comparison to jump-up DJs. They're not thought to pose a risk to humans, thank God, but could be dangerous to native species. Yeah, you go. So you sort of more like neurofunk ladybirds, they could be in trouble. Your liquid ones, they wouldn't stand a chance. They'd be the first to perish. And then I think it would be the sort of hard drum and bass, your sort of amen lot. They'd probably be the ones that would ultimately take down these sort of STD-riddled jump-up DJ ladybirds. It'd be a bitter fight, though. It'd be a better fight. Dearie me, the shockwaves would be felt for many generations, I'm sure. But luckily for you lot, I have almost no jump-up. Almost no jump-up in the list for today. That said, there's another T greater than I. I'm presuming it's T greater than I. It's called Second Chance. Sounds a little bit like that remix that he did for Leveler. But it's a good jam. There you are. Look. Same bongo player as that Kirill tune. Probably. Shit's popping off in the chat. Tom Cam's in there, Vlad's in there, Tommy Bizzle's in there. The Squidgmeister's in there. Oh, they're talking about Shakespeare in the Lab Bible. Oh, it's all gone mad. I need to settle myself and calm down a little bit. I'm excited. I listened to yesterday's show and I'm speaking way too quickly yesterday. Whoa. Really stumbling over everything. Can't make up for crummy banter by just talking faster. This is all it does. Just 10 minutes. Just keeps going. Sean Rudds is in the chat. He's looking to cyber. They're a saucy bunch, these coffee and memes listeners. Now, if anybody has any questions for John B, serious ones or foolish ones, get them in on the YouTube chat. If you're listening on just the audio stream, you can find the YouTube live stream. Just go to threshold.fm/watch. Now, I will say that this tune is not dissimilar to the remix of Tyrant. They're of a style. I'm a fan. I like him. I like he or she, or maybe it's a collective. Maybe it's a STD-infected ladybird. I don't know. Right, look, what else have we got here? Plane flies meters from building in stunt compared to 9/11. So this is in Australia. This is in Brisbane, mate. That was a sort of hybrid South African Australian there. Ooh, that's a terrifying accent. This is ridiculous. Like, so it's like a proper bloody like Air Force jet. Like, it's the size of a bloody, maybe not the size of a jumbo jet, but it's like the size of one of those EasyJet planes. And it's just cruising through a city about like, looks like it's about like 100 feet off the top of the buildings or something, just going down some river. People are losing their shit. Like, if you looked out of your office window and saw this thing, I'd probably just melt. I guess you see it flying past you, you think, all right, it's probably not going to fly into me. But if it's coming towards you, got to be absolutely terrifying. But so some people, understandably, in their office blocks are just completely losing their minds. Then so others are like, hey, listen, mate, unless the co-pilot and the fucking pilot both have heart attacks at the same fucking time, or the plane suddenly malfunctions, which won't, then you're absolutely fucking safe, mate. Don't even worry about it. You're a disgrace for even thinking about it. I can tell by the look on your face. And they reached out to the RAAF, the Royal Australian Air Force. They're not real, because Australia's not real, but you know, just for the purposes of this story, I'll play along with the game, the whole Australian game, facade. They reached out to them, and the Air Force said, basically, to cut a long story short, it's a bit of fucking fun, mate. Don't take it too seriously. We're just flying a plane in the middle of the fucking city, mate. They said, last year it was flying quite a lot higher, but the low altitude this year made all the difference for the photos. Because I was looking directly at it, or even down at it. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, you know, this is it's apparently it's part of the event happens every September to celebrate the end of Queensland's 3-week arts and culture festival with a day-long concert. They just fly a fuck-off great plane through the middle of the city, just giving absolutely zero fucks. Yeah, all right, look, that's fine. Let's get a little bit more. Come on, let's get a little bit more action on the go. Come on, what's it? Oh, got some new inside. Well, I don't know how new it is actually. It's new to me. Got some new inside info called Metamorphosis. It's on the same sort of flex as Conformity, and it's good. It's very good.
It to bed. See come underwear, covers moonlight. Yeah, we're over here taking a spotlight. That's how my life gonna get satisfied. We testify. Metamorphosis, butterfly. Metamorphosis. 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 Genesis, new wave. Silver surfer, Friday to Sunday. Let the sun dance, blinded by sun rays. Too hazy for some better source shade. She can win the gun, put them to shame. Witness the fitness Olympic games. Get the gold, more money, more power. They're still swallowing while we devour. Metamorphosis. 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 Insects, spiders, and vultures. We hatch them, fight up with soldiers. It's conscious while you demote us. We're plugged in, take over cultures. We spread light while fire blazing. We chase them, eternally racing. Push come to shove, give them fluoride. Metamorphosis, engage the third eye.
This is Inside Info. Metamorphosis. Featuring Miss Trouble. Some Viper. Oh, that's a fact.
Why you sling your hook? Go on, give it up. Let me sing the hook. Don't give up. Get the run around to brothers out of luck. The struggle now, selling for pence, not pounds. The checks bounce, I'm out. What they wanna spray? Tins in the bins? Okay. Gagging with the mask, killing with the bass. That's a bigger task, force for you to master chef. Can you be the boss of your destiny and master it? Metamorphosis. 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 Taste it. So hungry in this mother, I can taste it. So hungry in this mother, I can be the one. Bullet in the gun. If some greedy mofos eclipse in your sun. Metamorphosis.
All right. Big news for people who like to get on the gear. All right. Vending machine dispenses bag of white powder hidden in crisp packet for 50 quid. I wonder what that could be. When you go to London, you expect to pay a little over the odds. You would expect to be ripped off. It's part of the fun. Every time I hand over 6 quid for a pint of Foster's, where are you drinking, Dominic Smithers of Lad Bible? A little piece of me dies inside. I once paid £5 to get... Oh, fuck off. Come on, let's get cut to the chase here. But even for London, 50 quid for a packet of crisps seems a bit steep. However, a bizarre video shared online shows that one group of lads can't wait to part with that kind of money to get their hands on a packet of salt and vinegar. At first you think they've either lived in the capital for too long or blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the video shows that someone has very cleverly, I mean, it could be fake news. I'm putting it out there, it could be fake news. But some clever person has rigged a vending machine to charge 50 quid for packets of crisps that have been, like, opened, had bags of gear put in them, and then sealed them back up. This is smart. Someone has got their business brain on for this. Ziggy Andes Bravo, that sounds like a made-up name, posted a video to Facebook depicting one of the group putting 50 quid, 2 20s and a 10, into a vending machine. As you'd expect, they push the buttons for the crisps they want and they fall down. Then, this is where the plot thickens, the apparently sealed crisp packet is opened and is revealed to contain a small bag containing a white powder. Have they bought a packet of old-school salt and shake crisps? No, it's gear. Unless this is some new marketing campaign I missed. Hey, look, this is the other flip side of this. Maybe Walkers, well, after this whole bloody fiasco with the crisp packets not being recyclable, maybe they're up in the ante and they're like, yeah, right, we sell gear now. What's your problem? Like, yeah, you can have a pack of salt and vinegar crisps if you want. They're like, 75p. That's fine. Or you can have a gram of Colombia's finest, 50 quid. We're just branching out. It's a side hustle at the moment. It could become a main hustle, could become a full-time hustle. We're going to see how it goes. The vending machine, that gets round any of the illegalities of it, because I guess if you buy drugs off an inanimate object, maybe that sort of, it's a bit of a legal grey area. It's a sort of loophole. Could be. They've got a gif here of Carl Pilkington saying bullshit. So I guess they don't believe it's true. I think that they don't believe that Walkers are selling drugs. I think it's perfectly possible. You've got these STD-infected ladybird jump-up DJs, dogs, narcs, cats sell drugs. This we know to be fact. Now, Walkers are drug dealers. I think it's more than possible. And they're legalising weed soon. Well, they're legalising it for medicinal use. That's the first step, isn't it? So I reckon a couple of years down the line, once they need to sort of rejig the economy after this whole Brexit fiasco, they're probably just going to legalise all drugs. So maybe just Walkers are kind of ahead of the curve here. It's possible. I'm saying it's possible. Right, look, we're going to have couple more tunes maybe. Then I'm going to get Big Man John B on the blower. Right, what we got? Skeptical. This is a cool record. This is called Without a Trace. He's Sean in the chat. I hope they use packets of bugles for this. Like it. Another constipated one. Bloody mum dance, blowing up the phone, talking all sorts of bollocks. I shan't rise to it. This is a hot little number. Skeptical and Alex Perez. It's called Without a Trace. Right, we've got one more story and then I'm going to get Juan B on the phone. Mum's anger at being turned away from 15 rated film because she had her baby with her. Righto, good. Big news here in the Metro from Richard Hartley Parkinson. A mother has hid out at her local cinema after she was refused entry to watch a 15 rated film because she had her baby with her. Catherine Buckley, 37, said that Rosie wouldn't have known what was going on in the film at the Cineworld screening of A Star Is Born. She said that her and her sister bought tickets and were on their way into one of the screens when a member of staff approached and said, "We're not sure you can take her in. She's not 15. No, she's fucking not. She's a baby." Staff at the cinema have been supported by their bosses, who said that they were acting in accordance with the age restriction law. Not only that, but we don't want any fucking kids in adult films because they make a bloody racket. They don't understand the plot, they keep asking what's going on and who the characters are, and they can't be trusted to not check their phones. Typical. However, Mrs. Buckley was not happy, saying, "We thought they were joking." But then they said, "No, we actually couldn't take her in. I understand there has to be rules and legislation in place, but they're asleep for 18 hours a day." I think anyone who has a baby will tell you that's not actually the case. She can only make out near shapes. She wouldn't know what was going on at all. So she's not allowed to sit at home and watch the news? So, what do you mean I can't take my baby into a strip club? She loves tits. No, it's 18s and only. She doesn't understand. Like, she's not going to pay for a lap dance. She's a child. Like, no, it's the law. You just can't do it. You can't, like, oh, she's 18 weeks old. Oh, look, it doesn't work like that. Cineworld told the BBC, how does this just, like, you're having to give statements to the BBC about this. In line with the British Board of Film Classifications rules, Cineworld is not allowed to let anyone under the age of 15, including fucking babies, into films that are classified 15 or over. We are sorry that this customer was disappointed with the mandatory law that the Cineworld staff have to follow, but maybe don't take your fucking kid to a 15-year-old film. God, that's quite a strongly worded statement from Cineworld there. Take your little screaming bastard elsewhere, possibly a kinder cafe, or don't. All right, understandable, fair enough. Right, look, let's try and get John B on the phone. It's worth a try, isn't it? Where is he? Come on, Big Johnny. Doo-doo. Woo! Johnny!
Hello? Hi.
He's there. Is this thing on or what?
Is this? Yeah.
Where's my 20%?
20% is, yep.
Deary me. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm all right. I haven't used Skype in ages, and I just tried reinstalling it on my phone and set up a brand new account. I thought I destroyed this one and the world was going to end, and
God.
I was having a bit of a panic, but I'm fine now.
Oh, baby boy. Let me put a little picture of you up on the screen so people know what you look like. I've even got the picture of you on the telephone, so that's good, isn't it?
Ah, wonderful. Yes. I'm doing this on my laptop, and you're breaking up and stuff. So excuse me if I don't get all of the jokes.
Oh, okay. Well, they're not going to be very funny anyway. Such is the nature of this show. But we try our best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the hot sauce that you sent me. I sort of I hadn't seen it online, so I sort of assumed that it would just be in a sort of little homemade like Mason's jar or something like that. But this is like a beautiful like proper bit of hot sauce, and it's got it's jungle themed, jungle fire.
Yeah.
It's got a cool label. And
I'm doing it properly. When I started off, it's just because I was growing my own chilies, and then ended up with too many and needed to do something with them. But I've had a registered as a food business and done all the had the council round to check the kitchen and food hygiene rating and everything. So
nice.
You got it properly.
Yeah. I guess using terms like these are the sickest hot sauces out there is probably.
No, you don't want it to make you sick.
No. Although this is something I've seen in sort of like food vans and the sort of street food things. People referring to food as filth, like filthy burgers and stuff. It's a bizarre thing to coin with food stuffs.
Yeah, I don't like all this new language.
these new folk, these millennials.
Bloody millennials.
When they're not eating ass, they're just ruining the language.
Oh yes, wonderful tune.
Absurd. Right, look, shall I get into tasting them? Do you think, should we go straight on with that? And then I've got some fairly foolish things to ask.
I didn't intend for this to be hijacked as product placement or anything. So,
no, it's fine. It'll be. I do like the one. The barbecue one is called D&BBQ Fire.
Yeah,
that's a beauty. Right, come on, let's get into this one first because this is the less hot, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's still pretty hot. That batch that you've got there is the most recent one, and the chilies I used in that were chocolate scorpion marugas, which are really, really, really hot.
Mm.
But it's weird because like my tolerance has gone up a lot since making these.
That's
to
pretty
me,
pokey.
Is it? Oh shit! You're gonna love the next one then.
Wow. D&BBQ Fire. That's delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's quite sweet. It's got your sort of your barbecuey molasses action in there.
Smoke and the smoky flavour as well. Like it's good, good on burgers. And I'm really into like low and slow American style barbecuing. Where you smoke brisket and pulled pork and stuff as 5, 10, 15 hours or whatever. And because I've never really liked barbecue sauce, but since getting into that, I kind of get it now. And it goes really well with that stuff.
I did a bit of brisket recently. I've been on a sort of wacky diet, this wacky carnivore diet. I'm not doing it. I'm eating vegetables now. It's a long story. But I found that brisket is an extremely cost-effective way to eat a lot of meat quite cheaply.
Yeah, I mean,
interested.
When you buy a whole brisket from the butchers, it's about 50 quid, but it's a huge, huge chunk of meat. And then, it lasts for ages because it's a massive, massive chunk of meat. But if you're doing it on the smoker, it takes forever. It's a fine art. Like the brisket is something that's very difficult for me, at least, to master because it can be like 15 hours cooking because you have to manage the fire on the smoker for that period of time as well, which is a mission. But it's good when you.
Right, look, I'm gonna save the other one because I don't want to die.
Yeah, you might sort of lose your train of. It'll be like that. I've never watched this thing, but there's something called Hot Ones where some dude makes people eat hot wings and interviews them. But despite my interest in chilies, I've never been bothered to watch that at all. But
I think there's a good episode on it with Joey Diaz, the comedian.
Right.
Are you aware of his work?
I am not. I would probably recognise his face, but I'm not like, oh yeah, Joey Diaz.
He's a big fat Cuban American who's on Joe Rogan's show a lot.
That dude, yeah.
He's like, hey, fucking Joe Rogan, you eat these fucking wings. They're so fucking hot. You wouldn't believe it, cocksucker.
Right, look, I've got some actually got a few things I want to get into. A lot of people have been asking, a lot of people have been commenting that your recent Sun and Bass set was extremely good.
Oh, that's very kind of them to say.
They also mentioned, were you playing after comics?
Yes.
Was there an incident involving a USB stick?
Yes, there was. I play with Serato, so my time codes are on USB sticks, so I still have to stick them in. But like, I've never DJ'd with my tunes on the USB, so but he had like 2 USB sticks in. There were USBs in all of his CDJs, and I pulled the USB stick out of the one that wasn't playing, but what I didn't know was he was reading a track off that on the other CDJ. So basically pulling it out stopped the music, even though I didn't like put it out of the wrong one, but because I guess he had different stuff on different ones. And
did you do it deliberately just to fuck him over for a laugh?
Yeah, fucking hate that bastard.
Yeah, nice.
No, well, I mean, it's one of those things. You have these. I don't know if you do, but like, the classic DJ nightmare dream you have is, you're DJing and you can't decide what to play next, and then the song runs out, silence, and the crowd.
That I've had that dream many times.
My that's been replaced for me now in my dreams as scrabbling around trying to connect my Serato up, and I can't.
Yeah. Oh, like honestly, I did a few. This is a while ago. I did a few shows with like fully improvised live modular things, and you wouldn't believe the stress dreams that come out of that.
Oh my god, yeah. But the reality of it is, so I'm at Sun and Bass, which is probably the most high stress for me. It's like the most high stress, most important gig of the year for me, because it's not as big as something like Let It Roll, but you're surrounded by loads of other DJs, your peers, people you respect. The crowd there are like the most headsiest heads there are, who are very knowledgeable, and also you're aware they're all there for an amazing time in their holiday, and you want them to have the best time and play the best set for them and everything.
Yep.
So you're in this situation, like, I pull the other dude's USB out while I'm setting up. It doesn't matter. We're both like, oh, and he just, his USB in the other one and starts another tune, and the MC
things happen
and goes technical selection. And I had another situation, one of those huge Russian gigs in Moscow.
Oh yeah,
of probably about 10,000 people when I was playing there. And this was what prompted me to switch using my time codes onto USBs rather than CDs. And basically, I'd been using the same CDs with my Serato time code on for years, and they basically got a little bit scratched. And I'd never had this situation before, and I'd planned my set meticulously and had to mix really, really fast with everything, because it was only an hour set. And I'm there. There's video screens projected, like they've got cameras on my face, on cinema screens on the side and everything. And I'm doing my mixing and everything, and it keeps on, like, I'm in the mix, so they can't hear this yet, but it keeps on skipping as though like back in the day there was someone dancing on the stage and the needle jumps.
Oh god!
And you're like, what's going on here? And then basically the song, I realised what was happening and realised it was a scratched CD, so I quickly ejected it and put a new one in, and I diagnosed it during the course of this song playing. But basically, I was just a bit too slow, and the song ran out and it went to silence.
Oh.
Ultimate nightmare dream.
Oh, no.
Just in a club. It was in a massive arena in Moscow. And there's the cameras on my face, and they could probably have seen me going, oh, what's going on here? Like entering like diagnostics mode and working it all out. But again, that's in your nightmare. You're like, what's the worst that could happen? Oh my god, it went quiet, and everyone starts going, John B. John.
Turned it around.
And then I just I had the next one ready and pressed play. So like, what's the worst that could happen? Like there's probably worse things that can happen, but
yeah. I've had the entire power in the whole club go off, to plunging everyone into pitch black. Few times actually.
But that's not your fault though. You're not responsible.
No. I easily could have been my fault. I mean, I broke my ankle once on stage in Paris. That was quite bad.
Oh, did you keep playing?
Yeah, for another 45 minutes with my leg up on a monitor speaker. The next DJ was late, 15 minutes late, and then they took me to hospital. It was good times.
Oh god.
Do you think on the video screens there they could have done an action replay and sort of pinpointed the exact moment that you knew you'd fucked up?
Yeah,
like in The Simpsons when they pinpoint when Ralph's heart breaks.
Well, the thing was, like, I didn't fuck up. Like I was having technical issues, and luckily I was prepared enough. I had spare time code things, and I was quick thinking enough to work out what was going on. But when you're in the mix and it's a short, like 3-minute rinse out drum and bass track, you haven't got much time to sort out what's going on. And So I guess they would have seen on my face I wasn't just like, yeah, make some noise. I was like, oh shit.
Colour just drain out of you.
Sympathetic to my cause, or I don't know, but
being that you've probably played out in sort of Russia more than most drum and bass types.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What's the scariest thing that's ever happened out there? Everyone's got their story.
To be honest, well, the roads, driving, yeah. I mean, that's sort of a standard thing, but yeah, probably the most scared I've been in my life has been in situations where we've had a long drive to do on like country, even some like big cities out in the sort of regional places. They're just connected by, these roads that are almost dirt tracks, but it's a long way. So the guy's doing 70 you're basically 10 seconds away from like a dash cam fail video on YouTube, like it mental. And they're like having to do these crazy overtakes at speed and in the snow and
while smoking and talking on the phone.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I get, they always have the best driver and nice cars and everything, and professional drivers. But it's rare that I've had. There's only been a few times in my life that I've done those really long drive. There was one where it was 7 hours. But there was no other way to get. It was like a double header weekend where I had 2 Russian gigs, and it was the only way to feasibly do it. And once in a while, it's all right.
I'm not sure it's worth the money.
No, yeah. Nowadays, I wouldn't do it. But when I was young and reckless, I was like, yeah, be an adventure, yeah. But now I'm like, oh no, I'll miss my allotment if I'm dead.
They've lured you in, telling you there was a very specific kind of Russian girl at this. This new... Oh, really? Yes. Okay, I'll do the show. Also, a lot of people wanting to ask about Blandwagon Pose.
Oh yes, I was expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an inevitable conversation, isn't it? The story from the top was, mainly, is it true that Twisted rang you up and threatened you?
We did have a phone call. I can't remember if I called him or he called me.
Right.
But I remember he was calling me a cunt a lot and stuff. But he was angry, so fair enough. And like I was just super diplomatic and like. It's a shame, like, because if I'd played it a bit differently at the time, I don't think he'd have felt so pissed off. Because the tune got out before I'd had a chance to even speak to SS or him or,
Yeah.
Because I made it. And I think at the time, Dogs on Acid had some link up thing with like dub plates or there was something somewhere where people would upload clips of new tracks or something. And so I'd finished it and I went out to Swerve. And just before I went to Swerve, I sent it to that dude and got back, stayed out really late. And because I don't live in London, I got back home at like 5 a.m. or something. And by then it had just like blown up. It was sort of a 10-page thread on Dogs on Acid and everything.
Those were the days.
Yeah, those. So, it'd gone out there and I hadn't had a chance to like, let Twisted know I'd done it and it was a joke and I thought it'd be okay because we were on the same label and the same with it. And I'd also I think I'd sent it to SS or something but not spoken to him about it, and he'd played it in DC that night as well, or I don't know, there was some weird stuff, but basically I hadn't done the right thing, which was let everyone concerned know and explain the intentions and get them prepared. So
just not like tell them in advance of even make. Look, I've made this tune and it's just ripping you to shreds, basically. Not only that, but it's a better tune than your tune.
Oh well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think what spurred me to make it was because he'd done the track that was taking the piss out of Distorted Minds.
Yes.
Ripping off his style.
Yeah.
And my point of view at the time was like his style was kind of so generic. Like, how could he claim that someone was stealing his style when it wasn't particularly unique anyway? And then also it was ironic that they'd kind of, assuming they had done that, they'd kind of taken his sound and smashed it out of the park and done it a lot better. And he just sounded grumpy about it. And I'm just like, oh. And also I'd been wanting to do a track at the time that had like a big ambitious trancey intro and then just went, fuck it. I know you don't want this kind of shit. You just want some silly jump up.
Just want some wobble. That's all they want. Better clown.
Combining a few random thoughts I had at the time, and but I should have played it differently because I don't know Twisted, never met him or anything and so whatever.
Bless him. Well, he's old Twisted. He says crazy things. What's he gonna do next? Woohoo!
I'll stay out of that one. Like, live and let live.
Yes. Well, yes. This is true. Right now, I've got some foolish questions for you to get into here, if you're interested.
All right.
If you had to give up all this music, Lark, and get a real job, what would you rather? Run a minicab firm with Nicky Blackmarket, or a laundrette with DJ Hype, and why?
That would be both of those would be kind of fun, I guess.
It's living a simple life, isn't it?
Yeah. If I had to live a simple life, and there'd probably be other jobs. One of the things I actually thought about, if I did have to jack it all in, I'd still want to be around airports. I'd maybe work security at Heathrow or something.
You really like airport. I know you're an airport ninja and everything.
I guess if I had to work there, the novelty would wear off. But like, I quite like
padding people down all day.
Of like gliding through Heathrow.
Maybe you could be a trolley dolly. I'm not sure that's the term they use these days, but I think for you, I'll make an exception.
On PA, they still let old people do it on British Airways, don't they?
Well, that's because they got the contracts back in like the 70s and they never run out.
Yeah, I didn't know, because I just have to deal with like really entitled DJs and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So come on, look, laundrette with Hype or minicab with Nicky Blackmarket. You get to drink a lot of cups of tea at both of these.
Probably be busier in a laundrette, because the minicab company would be I would just be going, oh, blimmin' Uber, mate, Uber, God.
Yeah, a lot of complaining about. You'd be on the phones probably.
Laundrette, and you sort of have a side business out the back with a pirate radio station and Doc Cotton or something.
That'll work. All right. Now, this is a fight that I've broken down my opinion of in the past, but I'd be keen to know what you reckon. Who would win in a charity boxing match between Goldie and MC Det, and why?
Ooh, probably Goldie, because I think he's more agile and his yoga moves would give him more ducking and a diving. But if Det landed a punch, he's got more strength, I would say.
Yes, this was actually, I thought the exact same thing. I thought Goldie's going to want to try and wear him out, wear the big man out, and then take him down with like a nice uppercut or something.
My money would be on Goldie, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah,
no disrespect to Det, of course.
Oh, of course, no, they're both, both great fighters in their own respect, but Okay, now on to your fighting prowess. Do you think you could beat Boris Johnson in a fight? And I have a few stipulations about the fight. The fight would take place in a pub car park in a country pub of your choosing. It would be anywhere you like. It would be bare knuckle, 1 round, no time limit. The only rules are no biting, hair pulling, or makeup smudging.
I think Boris has probably got more practice from his days of straighteners with Eton and all that crap, so he would probably beat me.
You reckon?
Yeah, and plus I haven't had a fight with anyone pretty much ever.
Okay. What if you were allowed an 8-week training camp?
If I went to an 8-week training camp, then yeah, I'd beat him.
Yeah? Okay, nice. Quietly confident.
Very confident. Okay. If you take me on an MMA training thing or whatever.
That would make a wonderful reality program if you are ever interested.
Yes.
I think taking 2 DJs that have never thrown a punch in their life and putting them through, a training camp and then making them have a charity match at the end would be...
And I'd be really healthy at the end of it, and it'd be like Strictly. I'd like lose loads of weight and everything.
Yeah.
Except, as long as I end up getting together and I divorce my wife or something. A Strictly curse.
You end up falling in love with your opponent.
Yes. Boris Johnson. Boris is he's leaving his wife or something, or she's leaving him now. So yeah.
Hey, you never know. You at the John B. Bojo. It's JB and BJ.
Oh,
come on. Imagine the hair that your children would have.
No.
No, don't. Okay. All right. Which world leader would you rather start a jump up double act with? You'd be making the tunes and DJing. They'd get on the mic and take most of the credit. Your options are leader of the free world, Big Donny T. Your act would be called the Pussy Grabbers. Kim Jong-un. Your act would be called the Pocket Rockets. Putin. Your act would be called the Spy That Wubbed Me. Angela Merkel and you'd be called German engineering.
Oh, Angela Merkel, easy. That would be amazing. Yeah, that would kill it.
Merkel on the mic.
Yeah, murking it.
Yeah, just straight up murkage.
Vibe inserter. Coming at you from Deutschland. Rinsing out the whole... Oh, yeah, that's why I'm not an MC.
You like getting on the mic, though. I've seen you with a special, like, sort of, like, radio DJ style mic that comes over the top.
Yeah, I just... I've got. It's annoying because Pioneer have changed the layout of their DJ mixers now, but they used to have XLR input on the top, and I've just got this kind of. It's like a Kraftwerky kind of mic. You just stick it in, and it's sort of self-supporting, and it's just because a lot of the times when it's a club show and I'm the only headliner, they won't have booked like an international MC, so it's either like a local guy or nothing, and. I don't know. It's part of the way I do stuff is I want like a personal connection with the crowd anyway, and try to not be a stereotypical, very serious DJ. And it's nice to just go on the mic and be like, "What's up? How you doing?
Hello.
Put your fucking hands up.
Fucking hands up.
Put your fucking hands up.
I want take them out of your pockets. Stop. Put your phones down.
That's the music. If you don't put your fucking hands up.
Stop chewing at the back.
Don't think I can't sway.
Turn it off. That's it, right off. Not just on silent, off.
You're not getting the rewind until everyone's phone's fucking off and the fucking hands are up.
Do you think, as I do, that all rewinds should have to go through a special rewind committee where they can authorise or deny the rewind request? There's a lot of paperwork involved.
Idea for a club night. Everyone's given a little device or maybe an app.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just giving away an idea that we could make some money now. Never mind. And you have one rewind request per set as a person in the crowd.
Yeah.
And basically they can't call for a rewind all the time. They have it's like a golden buzzer on like X Factor or something. Mm-hmm. And if more than 50% or some threshold have asked for the rewind, then a big light has to flash in front of the DJ and he has to do the rewind.
Yeah, or he doesn't get paid.
Democratic process.
Yeah, so you're democratising rewinds.
Yes,
nice.
And moving forward for the millennial technological innovation-y thing. Mm. And you could have it if it was live streamed. You could extend that to those watching on the internet as well.
Well, yeah. Actually, they did have a. There was a Red Bull Soundclash thing a while ago, which had like Shy FX and Chase and Status, and they also had like ASAP Rocky and Rodigan was there and stuff, and they had some sort of voting system online with that, but I think it wasn't for the rewind; it was just for who you wanted to win.
Right. Yeah.
So kind of, it's possible.
Got to keep them engaged.
Yeah, I know. You got. I do remember, like in the sort of mid days of Bro Step, like playing a lot in Europe, the kids there did seem to struggle with staying engaged. Like they'd have a build up and they'd all start going crazy. It would drop. They'd go mad for 10 seconds and then they'd just stand there and stare at you.
Yeah.
Next, please. Come on.
Come on. Where's the drop?
Well, my attention span is only 15 seconds. It's like, no, you're supposed to dance in between. Very strange. Right, couple more bits for you. Your record Up All Night?
Yes.
Did you know that it's very good if you take drugs while listening to it?
I have been told that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever decide to start taking drugs, I will say, put that record on. They don't half go well together. Particularly the VIP as well. Stuff can get quite emotional, actually.
Yeah. I remember the VIP, the Epic mix, the one with the big trancey intro. Yeah, I remember the first time I played that, and I did it, and I played it in Dallas in this big rave, and as my first tune, like no one did like 3.5 minute long ravey intros in those days. But, yeah. Anyway,
I remember hearing that at Valve Sound at the racecourse in Brighton. Me with my pal Elvis 1990, and we almost shed a tear.
Oh,
and they were wonderful times. It was on Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
Oh,
awesome. And people weren't calling it Star Wars Day then. It sort of hadn't really been invented, and we sort of realised it. And we're on Baines, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is so meaningful."
Feel the force.
Feel the force. No, feel the Baines. Yeah, great times. Right, look, I'm gonna let you get on because I'm sure you've got hot sauce to make. Actually, no, come on, look, I'm gonna get into this last one. We're at the end now. How bad? How bad can it get?
A whole teaspoon of it.
Oh no, I really think I'd be in trouble. I did start sweating off that last one.
Yeah,
I was trying to play it down.
Most of the chilies I use for these are super hot. They're called, like, inverted commas, super hots.
Yeah.
And, like, they're really, really hot, but the heat comes on slowly. So you'll think it's like, oh, I can handle this. And then give it 10, 15 seconds. You're like, oh, shit.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, actually, no, that's fine. Okay, it's getting a little bit hotter. I was like, God, if this goes all the way, I don't know what I'll do. Right, okay. Well,
give the bottle a proper shake before you try it. Get it all...
Someone in the chat is asking, ask him what dark thoughts were in his mind when he made the tune Lava.
No dark thoughts, really. I was just like, I'm going to make a headsy, choppy-uppy, tech-steppy for the modern generation type tune, get some nice atmospherics in there, try and do something that's a proper paying homage to the metalhead sound and in a modern way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you a good record of yours, John.勝Eyes. That's a good record.
Ah, yes.
Love that tune.
Yeah.
In fact, In Transit is, I would say, possibly my favies on there. I think it was the sort of nice junction between the sort of electro-y, sort of more vocally stuff and hard amen tunes.
Oh, did you say Alexa? You said something Alexa related, and she started talking in the house.
Oh, really? What was she saying?
Yeah. I don't know. She said, I don't know that one. So I don't know.
Tell her to stop listening in on our conversations.
Alexa, stop listening.
Oi, Bezos, stop listening to everything we say. Oh, yeah, that's got a bit...
All right, are you on the tropical fire now? Because I can't see what's going on here. I haven't got your video stream going.
Yeah, it's got a poke to it. Ooh. Yeah, that works.
That's a hot one, yeah.
So people can buy these, presumably, on the fucking Nora on the internet. It's very fruity, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the flavour I always go for is the fruit because I wasn't really a hot sauce guy before, but when I grew my own chilies, like when you cut them open, the flavour and the smell's just nuts, especially the super hot ones. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world, isn't it?
Shop bought hot sauces I tried just are so vinegary and so sort of taste like almost metallic. And, I know that's the thing, but I wanted to make ones that were sweeter and more fruity, but still ruthlessly hot.
You've always got to do something different, haven't you, John? You can't just do the same as everyone else. You've always got to be weird with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're wonderful. So, people, Jungle Fire, hot sauce, enjoy.
It's all sold out at the moment, but I made a few new batches last week, so they're going to be up probably next week or something. Cool.
Well, I've got some on my nose now, so that's starting to kick in.
Right.
Bit of fun, isn't it? Excellent. All right. Well, mate, thanks so much for coming on the show. I know we'll speak to you very soon.
See you soon.
Lots of love.
Peace. Bye.
Peace. John B there on the Skype. A lovely gentleman. Right. Okay. Come on. Let's play another jam. And we'll sort of wrap up the show. How about a little bit of Noisia? Why not? Oh, Ben Wilson, he's talking about a DJ Celebrity Bake-Off. That's blows to the face. Bit more inclusive, I guess. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. If you didn't already know, you can get this as a podcast. In a slightly less traditional way for the time being. If you go into the notes on the YouTube video or on the archive page of the website, there's an RSS feed link, and if you go to your podcast app and go to add podcast by URL, stick that link in and it'll come right up. There's also a link to the Spotify playlist with all the tunes that I've been playing, and of course a link to support the show on Patreon. I was genuinely a bit terrified after that first taste of the hot sauce. I thought I could be in trouble here. Same in the chat saying this sounds like Current Value started doing Jump Up. Current Value has started doing Jump Up. There's some bits on that Sauce Souped Up label. I don't fully understand the tunes on that label. They're probably not for me. There were some good bits. He's doing some stuff with Leveler as well. Keen to find out about that. Right, take this little opportunity to say thanks very much to everybody on the Patreon VIP list. That's Nicholas Goncalves, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Oliver Hooper, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Tony Hark, Pauly Hutton, Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Matthew Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Colm Murphy, Sam Howard and Tony J. If you want your name on that list that I read out at the beginning and end of every show, go and support us on Patreon. If you offer up $10 a month, you get your name on the website, you get me shouting you out, and there'll be all manner of other good stuff. I'm thinking of different things that I can add: merch, t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs. Some of these, I'd rather be double dropping the 9 mugs. We need your support to make the station bigger and better. And God bless you all. Thank you again to John B, a fine gentleman. This is true. Survival from Quarantine has got Celebrity Chef locked down. Hugh Downer has mentioned, yeah, he's like a legit, really... He was on MasterChef. Jesse's saying would pay to watch Current Value versus Limewax doing Victoria Sponges. Yeah, I'd pay for that. I'd support a GoFundMe for that. Right, thank you everybody that's tuned in today. I will be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning with more coffee, memes, and fucking banging tunes. Oh! Yikes. Like I say, you can. These will be all on YouTube for replay. They're on SoundCloud, and you can get them on the podcast. The how to do that is described on the website and the archive page, or the RSS feed is in the details on the video. Yeah, please don't hesitate to support us on Patreon so I can keep doing this every day and keep entertaining y'all. I'm having fun, and hopefully you are too. Increase the pace, and don't let your memes just be dreams.